So, starting out with these, are you ready for a quiz? Okay. We're starting out with just graphing the inequality, okay, super basic. So you have stuff like number 4, x is less than -1. Okay, so we set up a number line graph, okay, and I don't put a lot of numbers on mine. I literally just put whatever one I'm looking for, maybe like a 0 or something. Okay, so then it's less than -1. So if it's less than, do we use a bracket or a parentheses? Parentheses. Okay, it's less than, so it's pointing toward the left. So we do a parentheses, and then we color it in that direction. It's purely up to you. You are welcome to do so if you would like, but you can just not red or pink, because that's what I grade in most of the time. Sometimes I get fancy and use another color, but. Alright, another one. Number 6. X is greater than or equal to 3. So, set it up. Alright. It's going to go to the right, and it's a bracket. Okay, so your bracket opens to the right. And that's the direction it's going. Alright, so we're going to move on to ones that are a little harder than that. Okay, so we have, now your book is still using your open circles and closed circles, but we're not using those. Okay, so one like number 12. Okay, I'm going to write it like they do because they already have it graphed for you, but we're not going to be doing it that way anymore. So 12, you have a graph with -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on it. It has a closed circle, okay, which for us would be a bracket, and it's going toward the left. And then it's got an open circle at 2, going toward the right, okay, which for us would be a parentheses. And for these ones, it says to write the compound inequality that is represented by the graph. So do you remember, if you had my mom, I'm pretty sure she taught you a way to remember greater than and less than. Land and Gore, so which one would this be? X can be over here, or X can be over here. So it's a or, okay? So we would say X is less than or equal to 0, or X is greater than 2. Yes, okay, so your X can be anywhere that's colored in, okay, to infinity out either direction. So X could be -1, or X could be 3. The only values of X that don't work are anywhere in here, essentially is what that means. So if it's going opposite directions, it's or. If it's going toward the middle, it's going to be and. So we'll look at an and one real quick. So 14, they've got -6, -3, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, and they have an open circle at -3, okay, like for us, parentheses, and a closed circle at 9, say, okay, so a bracket for us, and then it's colored in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to think about it, okay, and then I'm going to show you how to combine it so it's written correctly. Okay, so x can be any value in here. Okay, so we'll say that x is greater than -3. Okay, and x is less than 9, or less than or equal to. Okay, so now we need to combine them together because it's an and. So we're going to write -3 is less than x. Okay, so that takes care of this top one. But then x is less than or equal to 9. So then we're going to write it like this, and that is how we combine them. Okay? I didn't. I just looked where the x is. Yes. Because it has to do with a notation you're going to use later. I think it might come up in 1.7, but if not, you'll definitely see it later this year. And then basically anywhere moving forward, you'll be using the other notation. So I'm just trying to, we're starting with review, but I'm trying to like start you with the new thing now so you're just used to it. Because last year they started with the dots and they had a really hard time transitioning to this method. Yes. Correct. Or you just write the word or between them. Alright, so graphing the compound inequalities. Okay, essentially you're just doing the reverse. So 5 is less than or equal to x less than 10. So we're going to set this up. Is this an and or an or? It's an and. Okay, so I'm just going to do, all I'm putting on my graph is the 5 and the 10. If you guys want to just do that and not write in all the extra numbers, that's completely fine. Alright, so what direction are things going? Toward each other. So what do I put on the 5? Okay, it's a bracket. Okay, because x is greater than or equal to 5, so it's going to be a bracket going in. But then x is also less than 10, so what happens at the 10? Parentheses facing. Yep, facing left. And we color it in the middle. Um, 20. X is less than or equal to -1, or x is greater than 1. So what am I expecting my graph to look like? Two things going opposite directions. So I'm going to just put my -1 and my 1. So what's happening at -1? It's going to the left and it's a bracket. Okay. And if you're ever in doubt about which direction it's going, plug a number in your colored in space and see if it's true. Okay, so plug in -3. -3 is less than or equal to -1, so I know I'm good. Yes. Because that's an and problem, because x is greater than 5, but it's also less than 10. And what happens at the 1? Parentheses to the right. Alright, for the next set of problems, they say to solve the inequality and then graph the solution. I'm going to take away the graph the solution part on these ones of your homework, okay, because you're already graphing ones in 3 through 10 and then up through 20, okay, so I don't see a point in, if you can graph them in the first section, wasting your time doing it, so you're just going to be solving them. So just solve ones like 22 through 33, don't graph. Yes. When you multiply or divide by a negative sign, you flip it. Alright, 26. 11 plus 8x is greater than or equal to 7. How do I solve for x? Move the 11 over, so 8x is greater than or equal to negative 4. So x is greater than or equal to negative 1/2. Okay, you can choose to graph it if you want, but I'm not requiring you to graph it in your homework to save you some time. Yes, because I'm not just going to tell you just to graph it. I'm going to give you a problem, say solve, then graph. Would y'all rather me not have you just do the graphing ones and you just graph these ones after you're done with them? Okay, we can do that. Okay, so ignore this. Yes, it would give you less problems in theory. Huh? So the same way we did 4 through 6. Yes. Because we didn't divide or multiply by negative. Yep. Okay, once you solve these, you could just graph them, and then I won't give you the other ones to graph. Alright, so I have negative 1/2. X is greater than or equal to negative 1/2. So what direction am I going? X is greater than negative 1/2. So x is getting bigger, so it's going this direction. Okay? I don't care. You can if you want to. It's purely up to you. I'm just trying to make your life easier. Yes. Because x is greater than negative 1/2, or greater than or equal to. So if I plugged in 0, 0 is greater than or equal to negative 1/2. That's why I say sometimes you should do the 0, but it's up to you. Because then you can use 0 as your reference point to check it. Yep, good point. The arrow is pointing the direction the graph is going. Alright, let's do another one, 32. Okay, so I'm taking off the graphing problems 3 through 10, so you will be graphing these ones then, okay, since that's your preference, okay. 32, 18 plus 2x is less than or equal to 9x plus 4. Alright, how do we solve this? Subtract 9x, so that gives me negative 7x is less than or equal to, I'm going to go ahead and move the 18 over also. What is it, Garrett? Yep, x is greater than or equal to 2, okay? You divide by a negative, so you flip the sign. Yeah, you could have, if you wanted to, you could have just left, you could have moved all your x's to this side and you wouldn't have to worry about it. Because ultimately it's going to give you the same thing. X is greater than 2. Where is x greater than 2? To the right. Okay, it's greater than or equal to, so what do I have? Bracket or parentheses? Bracket to the right. What? Well, you don't necessarily have to have it on the left side, but if it's on the right side, you're probably going to get confused. Yeah. trying to think of time. We got 34. Alright, let's try to do one more of the next type. Alright. The next one are and compound inequalities. Solve the inequality and then graph. These ones I'm not going to make you graph, just solve them. Okay, so just solve. And I'm going to keep that true this time. Just solve 37 through 48. Okay, don't worry about graphing them. Let's see. 38. We have 2 is less than or equal to x minus 3 is less than or equal to 6. Ideas on what I'm supposed to do here to get x by itself in the middle. Add 3 to both, okay? So if I do it to the left side, I have to also do it to the right side. So I'm adding 3 to both, so I'm ending up with 5 is less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 9. 6 plus 3 is 9, correct? Okay, if we were graphing this, we're not, but if we were graphing this one, what would be happening on the graph? Okay, brackets that both point toward the middle? Yes. Nope. You have to do it like this. X needs to be in the middle. Now, for the OR problems, it won't be. But for the AND ones, you need to leave it like that. Do we need to see another AND problem? We're okay? Okay. I'm going to do an OR one, and I'm going to let you guys work on these. 46. 2 plus 3x is less than negative 13, or 4 plus 2x is greater than 7. Okay, so we're solving 2 separate equations, okay, to get 2 different values for x. So on the left one, how do I solve for x? Subtract 2, so 3x is less than negative 15 to give me x is less than negative 5. And I'm going to keep the word or there because I need it still in my answer. And then how do I get x by itself over here? Subtract 4. 2x is greater than 3. X is greater than 3 over 2. And this whole thing here with the word or in the middle is my answer. No, leave as a fraction. Okay, if you don't have the or, it's wrong. Okay, don't forget the little word or in these problems. It starts with it. Even just move it down as you go, just like when you're solving the problem, and that way you won't forget it. Okay? Are we okay with the or problems? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you some to do. With 11 and 13, you don't have to copy the graph over. You can just give me the answer for those ones. Okay, if you want to copy the graph, you can, but you don't have to. Graphing the compound inequalities. 17 and 19. Okay, these ones you are graphing. Let's see. The next one, you're solving and graphing. So we're going to do, sorry, I'm kind of writing this all over the place. 23, 29. Yeah, okay. Solve and graph on these ones. And then these last ones, 39 and 45, just solve. A little over 10 minutes, so hopefully you can finish it. 45.